quarterly Q&A series. We have a good group on the call with us today, and we're honored to have back with us Mayor Shaunna O'Connell, and joining her are Chief Financial Officer Patrick Delarusso and the Director of the Office of Economic and Community Development, Jay Patikas. First, I'd like to thank our sponsor for this session, which is Morton Hospital, and invite Julie Massey, a member of our board and the Senior Director of Marketing, Community Relations, and Support Services at Morton, to say a few words on their behalf.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Just a quick hello on behalf of everyone from Morton Hospital. And for those of you who do not know, Morton Hospital is now part of Brown University Health. We're so excited about that, and it's wonderful news for our patients and for our community. So we really look forward to continuing to support the chamber and our various community partners. And we always love to hear about the wonderful work of our mayor and her team. So looking forward today, happy to be here and happy to sponsor today's event.
Thank you, Julie. I will turn it over to Mayor O'Connell for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everyone. Always appreciate the opportunity to get together with everyone on these quarterly meetings, because there is so much great stuff happening in Taunton. Things are always changing. We're always working on new projects, and it's really nice to be able to give everyone, some factual updates so that you know exactly what's going on in the community, and so that we can hear from you as well. I know there's a lot of partners on here that we work with regularly, and we really appreciate all the collaboration in the city because our team works hard every day, but we don't do it alone. And we know that our relationship with our local businesses and local organizations is really important in moving Taunton forward the way we have been.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I will dive into our questions. So we do have a lot of topics to cover and questions of interest to folks. And I would ask that if you have follow-ups to our conversations here, if you just wait until we can get through a number of these topics, and then you can feel free, if we have time, if that allows at the end, to ask any additional follow-up questions or new topics. So the first is, there's been a lot of activity with new business in the city, as we know, cutting a lot of ribbons with you all. Jay has, the most popular LinkedIn account, I think, across the city and beyond. So can you tell us about any updates of what's coming next?
Sure. And I'll have Jay hop in as well, because he is really the master here and has been working so hard and making so much progress in carrying out, our shared vision of really making Taunton a destination city and making downtown a destination, along with making sure we pay attention to all of the neighborhoods in the city of Taunton. So, some really great businesses have opened up recently in downtown, and I hope you've all been or are planning on going to the TPAC, the Taunton Performing Arts Center. That's something that we're really proud of and thrilled to have more arts in our downtown. It brings more people here, more foot traffic, and is certainly better for our businesses. We have some new businesses coming in shortly. Bar 22, or Bar and Lounge 22, if I have that name right, Jay. Yes. We'll be opening up where the National was. So that is going to be a craft cocktail bar with also some really great food as well. And so we're looking forward to that. And then right behind there, on One Naughty Walk is going to be a raw bar and martini bar. Something that I've been wanting to see here in Taunton for a very long time. Now you won't have to travel to go somewhere to get your oysters and sushi, if that's what you like. So we really like trying to diversify what we have here in Taunton, what the offerings are, so that we are, a lot of people kind of enjoy coming here, and we appeal to a lot of different kind of people. So I'll let Jay take it over, because he's really great at kind of going down the list of what we're working on right now.
Hey, everyone. So we've got a number of restaurants. The mayor already mentioned 22 Bar and Lounge. We also have Seven Spices, which is a Mediterranean restaurant that'll also be opening up probably in about 2 months in the downtown area. Where Torch used to be, that is also going to be another restaurant. We don't know too much yet, but it's a home cooking kind of place. They'll probably be open in the next couple of months. We have a new bookstore that's going to be Serendipity Bookshop, which is probably going to be opening up the first week of April. So this is all different kinds of books. It's not just used books, it's new books. She's going to be doing book signings, partnering with like Neighbors Coffee and stuff like that in the downtown area and Lisa's. So we're looking forward to having a bookstore as like a destination for the downtown area. There's definitely a lot of stuff going down. So at the former Cricket cell phone store is going to be a woman's boutique shop. That's something that if you aren't linked in with me, please do so, because I do these announcements on LinkedIn first, and that was yesterday's post. Was about a new 2,000 square foot woman boutique shop in the downtown area. So that'll be great. A lot of other stuff coming. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of work going on in Bacon Felt that'll eventually be a great shipping container retail spot. We also at Frank's Good Time Lounge is going to be a new restaurant. If you've driven by that spot, you'll see that there's some trees that have been knocked down to make the parking lot a little bigger. But that'll be a great family destination restaurant that's so needed, especially in that part of the city.
We really work hard to attract the kind of development that we want and that we think is good for the city. So we try to be very strategic and smart in what we're bringing here and really kind of pick and choose. I think it's just been a recipe for success for time.
Thank you very much. And also, I'll announce, because they're members of the chamber, and it's been people have been waiting for free play to open, and that will be opening up also very soon. And that is right across from the Target Plaza where the old Uno's used to be. So that should be an exciting venue as well. And they are looking to work with local restaurants. They offer pizza only. They're not looking to compete with the local restaurants. They want folks to, it's mostly an adult arcade. So they want folks to go to the local restaurants and then come to the arcade and have some drinks and fun after that.
Thanks for that, Chris. I failed to mention them. So they're looking, we should find out this week the exact dates of the soft opening. They're going to have some soft opening dates in the weeks ahead just to get everything going. But all 105 video games have been delivered to the site. It looks really great inside. So hopefully by tomorrow we'll get some dates to share on LinkedIn and on Facebook as far as when it's going to be open. But this is something for adults. It's a 21 and over. So for the parents of the world or the people that are tired of kids, this is the place to go and have a beer or have some drinks and a pizza and play video games. You pay a cover charge to get in. You don't have to deal with quarters, any of that stuff. It's going to be the rage in time for sure. So thanks for bringing that up.
Sure. So a little bit ago, we went to the ribbon cutting for the casino project. Actually, it's the Welcome Center that we were officially welcoming to the city at that point for the Wampanoag tribe. And so now I think folks are wondering, when will we start to see construction on the larger casino?
Great question. So we're happy that a project is finally moving forward there. It's been a very long time. So since that time, they opened with 10 slot machines to kind of show people what is to come. They've since expanded that to, I believe, 50 slot machines. So they're attracting more people. I understand they're fairly busy and people are wanting to go there. Right now, and I'll have Patrick and Jay jump into it's going to be a phased project, so they're going to be working on their phase 2. It is not going to be, the casino that was originally promised, the $1 billion project, but it's going to go in phases. So we're going to be talking with them about what phase 2 looks like and getting their plans on that. Patrick, do you have anything to add?
I think that a very important thing for folks to realize is that through the recent MOA that the city council approved and we kind of worked together on with the tribe, and what thing is that the city has been ensured that it's going to receive through that MOA the pilot payments. So that's exciting for us to at least see them generating revenue and sticking to their commitments to the city that the residents ultimately voted for back so many years ago. We're going to finally see the fruits of what was promised come to life.
Yeah, and just a little additional information. So on April 8th, they're going to be expanding their hours till 7 p.m. Right now, I think they're open 11 to 5, but they're going to be open because a lot of the feedback they got was people want to come after work. So on April 8th, they're going to go to 7 p.m. And then starting April 14th, they're going to be open 7 days a week, 11 to 7. And we're anticipating a design on the new casino sometime this summer, but that's about all we have as far as the development timeline goes.
And there has been a $20,000 winner at they're looking.
Oh,
I don't know
great.
if there was anyone else since then, but we heard about that, so that was kind of exciting.
Nice. I'm sure we'll learn all about it on Jay's LinkedIn as the project plans start to come together. So the Chamber, we're actually really proud to be a partner with the Whittington Community Partnership and the TDI initiative that's happening down in the Whittington section. Part of the growth there is the apartment complex that would be going in down where the Whittington Mills have been located in that blighted spot down there. Can you tell us a little bit more about that project?
Sure. So a little history. I think a lot of people understand what the status of Winton Mills has been for almost a couple of decades now, just sitting there crumbling and rotting. It's become a real hazard in the city. We had to take down a building last year because it was falling down. Recently in the windstorm, there were shingles, blowing off the roof into the street. And so we have, and it's privately owned. We do have a lien on the property and we are owed close to $2 million. So there was a private sale of the property to a company named Greystar, who approached us with, at first, a 700 unit complex, which we said was just, a non-starter. We couldn't have a 700 unit complex in the middle of that neighborhood and just bring that into Taunton. So we asked them to go back to the drawing board, make it smaller, include some green space, include some retail space. And they really listened to everything we said and came back with what we thought was a very beautiful project that is 390 apartments, I believe. It includes a lot of green space, a walking trail around the whole area, which is a beautiful area right on the river. And they've also included nice amenities like a swimming pool and I think what are the other ones, Jay? Don't they have some outdoor things you can play?
Walking trails. They're going to do a field too, but that hasn't been decided as far as what kind of field it's going to be.
Okay. But that everyone can enjoy, not just if you live there. So we want it to really be a community type of place. So they're going through the process right now of getting permitted. And one of the things that we're really looking forward to is getting paid the money that the city is owed. Now, additionally, the site is contaminated. I know there had been talk about, why didn't the city just take the property? That's really something that it was best for us to avoid, considering once you start cleaning up a site, you never really know what you're going to uncover. And a $10 million cleanup, which is the least it's going to be, can very quickly become a $15 or $20 million cleanup. And that would have been something that the city would have had to pay for. So with a private company buying it and developing it, it will really add life to that neighborhood and to all of the things that we're doing in Taunton. So we see it as a real benefit. We are going to get, we haven't been getting any tax revenue for that property. Patrick, what is it over 20 or 30 years we'll realize?
So we'll realize 19.1 million in new tax dollars over a 20-year period, whereas right now we're the mayor said we're down 1.7 million and approaching 2 million soon.
And so a traffic study is being conducted because we know that's a concern for people and it's a concern for us too. We certainly understand that. So all of the appropriate steps have been taken. We've done a public meeting, a public hearing, a public meeting, two public meetings actually for neighborhood input or input from anyone that wants to attend. So we've been trying hard to get the facts out, let everybody know that we're following the process that is followed for all projects. And there will also be improvements in the infrastructure in that area to, the sewer and water, not at the city's expense, and traffic upgrades also not at the city's expense. So it's really a benefit in so many ways for that neighborhood and for our city. Do you guys want to add anything? Did we get it all? Oh,
No,
commercial.
I think yeah, there will be the commercial space, and I think also it really will be a catalyst for the future growth of development of that neighborhood, as the mayor mentioned. Those water and sewer pipes are over 100 years old over there, and those are going to be all replaced at no cost to the city. And I know there's also talk about expanding sidewalks and getting those installed, which again, sidewalks are very expensive to to put in place. So if we can get that included in the sort of the final design here, I mean, that would be a major win as well for the city.
Yeah, and how the commercial space is going to work, the developers are going to build a pad site, and then they're going to hand the land over to a business owner who is going to develop 10,000 square feet of space. So we're in negotiations right now to bring a bakery and restaurant to the site. It's definitely not a done deal. There's a lot to go, but it's definitely a site with 390 apartments behind it that would definitely attract a great business or two. So we're working on that as well.
Actually, this leads into the next topic, which was around how the city's prioritizing infrastructure upgrades and promoting business growth. Was there anything in addition to the Winton project that you wanted to touch on there?
Sure. We've been infrastructure since we came in. So, there's just so much to do. Taunton has about 300 miles of roads here in the city. So that's been a main focus and a priority for us. Since we started our capital improvement project, which was really important in allowing us to start knocking out projects that have just been needed to, get done for a long time. We've put in about 40 million into the roads, Patrick?
40 million or 20% of the city.
So paved 20% of the city, put $40 million into the road. We're putting $7.2 million into roads and sidewalks this year. So you're going to very soon be seeing a lot of construction happening in the city. Make sure you leave early for your appointments because there will be detours. And, along with that goes sewer and water. So we've done a lot of work on our sewer and water projects as well. And we are very close to getting a lead-free designation from the Department of Environmental Protection for all the work we've done. And it's really, really expensive stuff. So by having a capital improvement project and, seeing it all in black and white, prioritizing our projects and funding them for the last, we're in our fourth year of our capital improvement project, which the city's never had before. It's really been able to allow us to be strategic, ensure we have the funding, and knock out all these important projects that the city's needed for a very, very long time. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I would just to go along with that is that some of the big things the mayor's doing is involved within the green energy space. So we recently got that first solar project, which was part of the capital improvement put on Chamberlain School. I know that was a momentous moment for the city, another first ever from the mayor. I think the next project that we just recently got passed was the wastewater treatment plant solar project. What that will do for businesses in the community is going to stabilize rates for the future years because that is going to eliminate a $90,000 to $100,000 monthly bill. So it's going to eliminate a $1.2 million cost currently paid for by the enterprise system, and those savings will directly allow for rates not to increase at the pace that they previously were because there's a massive savings there. So those are some of the things. We also have a solar project going on the water treatment facility. That's actually stationed in Lakeville, if you can believe it. But we own it. And that solar project similarly is going to help stabilize rates for the water bills that go out to residents and businesses. So those are the type of futuristic programs that the mayor has instructed us to kind of bring is how can we save people money? How do we save taxpayers money? How do we save businesses money? How do we save people money? And now it's really great to start seeing the results of those decisions come to life.
Sure is. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you for that. We're seeing a lot of activity going on at the site where the public safety facility is being built. When do you anticipate that will be completed?
We are really excited at the progress that's been made at the public safety facility site. Everything is on time and on actually under budget. So we're $10 million under budget on the project. And those were savings we gave right back to the taxpayers. We avoided borrowing extra money. And so I think by November, we will have substantial completion and a temporary certificate of occupancy. And if I'm getting any of this wrong, I know Patrick or Jay will jump in. And then after that, we'll be slowly moving it. It's going to be a transition, and it's going to take some time to move police and fire fully into the new facility. We have to bring everybody in, train them on all of the new equipment and stuff like that. So by, I think, springtime, we should be fully moved in to the new public safety facility. And that is going to be just another historical occasion here in Taunton where we are going to bring out the whole community for that ribbon cutting. It is just going to be a really awesome day here in the city. And I think today we're actually going to sign some beams on the fire training building that we built for our firefighters. Did I miss anything, Patrick?
No, you nailed it. The goal is to have a TCO in hand in the fall and have a CO in the spring, just like the mayor said. I mean, it really is something I think that separates Taunton from a lot of other communities. Not to be negative to them, is just, I mean, the team that the mayor put together physically gave back $10 million in savings to the taxpayers, both commercial and residential. That's something that you just don't see. You hear about these massive overruns. You hear about some cities putting statues of saints on the property. We're just not doing that. We have a practical building, a practical program that fits the needs of our city, the city's first responders. And I can't tell you, I've been involved in 14 public building projects in my career, and the team that the mayor put together is by far the best.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that update. This question was around the Neighborhood Revitalization Task Force. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. I'm glad you guys asked about that. That is something that we just started. And so the purpose of the Neighborhood Revitalization Task Force is to identify blighted and vacant properties throughout our city that we do not own, so that are either owned by homeowners or businesses or whatever it is. And so the task force is an internal, all of our stakeholders are involved, and like the Board of Health, the building department, police department, fire department. And so they're identifying these properties. They have a strategy they follow where they have to look at, the title, the deed, are they in lien? Is there electricity and water being used at the property, so we can understand if anyone actually lives there. So there's a lot of things that the task force has to do once they identify a property on the list, to move forward and figure out what is the solution to bringing that property back up to a standard that really complements and beautifies the neighborhood or wherever it is. And one home that they just looked at, I want to let you guys know the importance of the work they're doing, but the other things that it uncovers at the same time is they found a home where there were some irregular readings of water and electricity. And so they said, we better go look at this. The team went in. They found an elderly veteran in the home living in really abhorrent conditions. He was very ill. And so they were able to, call 911, get him to the hospital, get him the care he needs, could connect him with veteran services. And now, take a look at the property and what we're going to do about the property. So it was, it came out of, look, what can we do? We know there's blighted properties around the city. We know we need to take care of them. So bringing everyone on our team together, creating this task force is really having an impact. It's going to be a bit of a process, but they are, hard at work identifying the properties and working to bring them up to a better standard.
Great, thank you for that. That's exciting news. So yesterday was a big day for the city with finally the South Coast Rail is off and running. Very exciting day. So I know I'm sure the city has plans to further develop around that area. And what can you tell us about that?
Yes, it was. Anybody that's on the call that was there knows how exciting it was there. There had to be over 500 people in attendance, and the governor and lieutenant governor, secretary Tibbetts Nuts, and the general manager Eng were all there with us. They took the trains from from New Bedford and Fall River to Taunton, and we, all cut that ribbon together. It was just so exciting. And we're already seeing the benefits of South Coast Rail at 1141 County Street, which is adjacent to the train station property. There has been approved an apartment complex with 280 apartments and also commercial space on the bottom and very beautiful outdoor space as well. So that is definitely going to spur some more, economic growth in our city. It's going to increase our tax base. And we have other businesses that we already talked about, like Free Play coming up in that area. We have a new walk-in center that's going to be open in that area, which is something that we do not have currently in Taunton. And when developers come, even if it's not right in that area, they know that we have the train now. And so that's really attractive to a lot of developers to know that they have the train, and it can make whatever they're developing more attractive to other people. So I don't know if Mary Ellen DeFrias is on the call and she wants to add anything, but Mary Ellen was there as well and she spoke. Gatcher is very, closely tied with the MBTA, of course. The other thing we're looking to do, and I talked to the general manager, Phil Eng, about it yesterday, is we want to put up some really nice signage inside the MBTA, inside our new train station, so that people know what are great spots to visit in Taunton. So we're going to work with them on getting that done as well. Anything else, Jay?
Yeah. So the sign, it's similar to a wayfinding sign where we'll be promoting, things in the area for people to go to, because the whole point of the station is we don't want people coming and going. We want people coming and staying, going to the businesses, going to Free Play, going to get coffee and restaurants in the area. So we'll be providing some kind of signage for that. Down the street, the former commuter rail spot next to Target, that's also a site that we've been looking to develop. That's 25 acres of land there. We're hoping we've got a developer interested in some housing there, but we're trying to push the issue, at least to bring a theater back to the city. That's an ongoing negotiation right now, but that's something, especially with the mayor's focus on 140 in that area, we're trying to get, more businesses into that area. So that's something that's just starting out right now, but it's definitely got potential for some great things to come for the future.
Yes. And affordable housing is a priority for us. So we're really concentrating on that this year as well. And we actually just had 3 affordable housing developments come online this past year, but we know we need more. And, 1141 is market rate, but we know we need more affordable housing. And so we are making that a priority and really working hard on that.
That kind of segues into this next question around obviously the more housing, potentially there's always the more children. And now that the city has turned Coyle, the old Coyle Cassidy School, over to the school department, what will be happening there?
Yes, so the school department is making a plan on how to best utilize that to best serve our children and our teachers and our families. We are currently working on upgrades to that. And you know what? I'll let actually Patrick and Jay talk about the upgrades. They're a little more in tune to exactly what they are.
Sure. So what the city purchased Coyle, as everyone recalls, we negotiated a $6 million sale of a building that would cost $120 million to rebuild today in today's dollars. So that's a savings of over $100 million we brought right off the bat. When we purchased it, we knew that there were going to be upgrades made. So the initial assessment done by the building department called for $3.2 million, which we funded in the third CIP to effectively do the sprinklers and do the roof for the schools. Those are the two primary objectives. Now the objective with the 4.5 million that the mayor just infused is to get the school ready for the children, because the use of the facility is going back to K through 12, whereas before it was just for basically a commercial business use. Now it's going back to education use, so that triggers more code compliance measures that we have to address. The 4.5 million will cover all of the measures to bring the facility up to code to allow children to be in there. The scheduled work for that should be completed by next September with the 4.5 million that we just infused into that project. So in total, an $11 million investments, again, saved over $100 million in taxpayers' money. So that's a huge savings to the taxpayers. I just want to forewarn everyone, there will be additional costs that are going to come up with it. We know that, and we're working with our building department and the superintendent of schools collaboratively, very collaboratively. It's been a really great team process to make sure that they have what they need to get open.
And BCC is currently there. We love having Bristol Community College in the city of Taunton. And so I know the school has a great partnership. Taunton Public Schools has a great partnership with them as well. So our goal is to keep BCC here in the city of Taunton.
Okay, that's good to know. I know some folks were wondering about the BCC campus also. What is the plan for Duval Park?
Oh, Duval Park, it's almost finished. So that is, in case anyone doesn't know, it's kind of near the old City Hall, like on the corner of Oak Street and Oak Ave, I think it is. And so it was a baseball field and I think a basketball court, which was really underutilized. And we put some funding into Parks and Recs so that they could come up with a plan for that. It's going to have pickleball courts, which I know is a real hot thing right now. I haven't played yet. I'm going to play soon. But it's going to have a bocce, a walking trail, horseshoes, a couple other things that I'm probably missing. And so we're looking at how to best make sure people have the equipment they need to, utilize the park and play all these different kinds of games. And, of course, you can bring your own, but we're looking into how can we have some sort of, rental space where people can rent, bocce balls, for instance, and then put them back. 'Cause things like that exist. We just have to kind of figure out what might be the best way for us to do that if we can manage to pull that off. But that is a priority to do that with the park. And then I think across the street is going to be a little dog park. Is that correct, Patrick? Do you guys? Yeah. So people have been wanting a dog park here. It's not a huge dog park, but it's something for people to bring their pets to and have play dates or whatever they do. So we're kind of looking forward to that too. And it'll be nice for that neighborhood. And it's also geared a little bit towards what we call older Americans now. And we have a few different senior complexes in that area. So they'll be able to, walk right over there, drive right over there, and really have some nice recreation time.
Just a couple of additions. So there will be a small dog and a large dog park in that same area. So that'll be cool for the little doggies. And there'll be a walking trail also. And one of the things I wanted to cover, because this got a lot of play on Facebook last week, across the street, the former Columbia Gas site, which is 100 to 106 Oak. So the city is working to develop this spot. I think we never noticed it more than when we did the groundbreaking and realized how ugly the old mill building is across the street that's had fires, that's had dumpings. So that's something that the city is working at to develop. The problem is there's three separate owners, and we can all kind of figure how that works and getting three separate owners to agree on a price and stuff. So the city is working with all three owners to try to get some kind of, small housing development there, and we'll keep you posted when things move along.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jay, because our team has been working really hard with all the owners, nonstop, and they're really great at bringing people together, at getting something done. And we one of our priorities is low or affordable housing, and so we're hoping that we can manage to get some type of affordable housing into that area as well.
Well, speaking of the little doggies that will be enjoying the dog park, I've been seeing that there'll be some additional investment into renovating the municipal animal shelter. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So if you've ever been to the animal shelter, you know that it needs some serious upgrades. It has for a long time. And if you haven't been there, I'd suggest you go, maybe bring home a little friend with you. That's where I got my cats a long time ago. And we have a great team over at the animal shelter. They really care about their jobs and what they do. And the conditions that they've been working in have been very, very challenging for them. So, and for the animals. So we're going to have new office space for them, new space for the cat room, they call it, where they keep all the kitty cats. And also it's so that they separate them kind of from the dogs. They're right next to the dogs, which I'm sure you can imagine the anxiety that causes for our kitties. We're putting into about $400,000. 200,000 is from generous donations from multiple different people and businesses here in the city, and $200,000 is from our capital improvement plan. I will tell you, I think the animal shelter is probably the department in the city that gets the most donations. People really, care about animals and want to see them comfortable. So that is going to be beginning, I think, pretty soon, right, Patrick?
Yes, the engineering is currently ongoing, developing a program and schematics.
Yeah. So they're getting some really much needed and much deserved renovations over at the animal shelter. People have been talking about that for years and years and years. So we put it into our capital improvement plan, and now we're going to be able to do it.
That's great. This next question is money is tight for many people. What assistance, if any, does the city offer to its residents?
Well, one of the things we talked about, starting a few years ago is how can we really help people that, are just in need of a hand up. And there's so many people that kind of fall between the cracks of being able to access different types of aid that are available through the state and the city because they just fall short of qualifying. So we developed what's called the Helping Hands Fund to kind of help people that, just maybe have a little emergency that set them back or whatever it might be. And we've been able to help multiple people with that, and Patrick can give you some examples of that. We also have our free senior trash bag program, which has been extremely popular with our senior population. And so they can get 6 free sleeves of bags a year. And so, any little bit helps. So we have, different programs that help in small ways that really add up. There's tax deferral that we raised the age from, or I'm sorry, we raised the amount from $500 to $1,000. So if you qualify for that, and that's a state law, so we have to follow the state guidelines. But if you qualify for that, you can get $1,000 off your tax bill. We also, what did we enhanced, Patrick? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Deferred tax.
Or tax program, get special legislation adopted.
Yeah, deferred tax program. So we increased we decrease the age at which you can qualify, and we also cut in half the interest. So what it is if you just, you're having a really hard time paying your taxes, you don't have to pay them anymore. And until such time as you move from your house is sold. And then at that time, the city would get the tax money that we're owed, which used to be at 8% interest. We cut that down to 4% interest, because we really are just trying to help people stay in their homes as long as they can, without having to worry about things. And we recently helped someone, Patrick, with I think with their taxes in our Helping Hand program. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. So when folks have like for instance, a water bill or an excise tax bill, that's the area the Helping Hand Fund can help with. So say you have a car repair that's going to cost $150, you need a new tire. Well, or you face with the decision to say I have to pay my excise tax or I have to pay for this tire, right? We bring them in and say, hey, you know what? We're going to pay your excise tax bill for you with this, as long as you meet it with the Helping Hand Fund, and you can go take care of your tire. Same thing with appliances, same things with roof repairs and things like that. Where we work with people to offset city costs so they can go ahead and take care of the things that they need some help with, and because they don't qualify. To the mayor's point, a lot of folks don't qualify for all these elaborate state programs or federal programs, but the mayor's program can help at the local level where the state and federal government just simply can't.
And Jay's office also has some programs.
Yeah, we help businesses. We have low interest loans for a lot of the businesses that have been coming into the downtown area. We help to finance. We don't want to take anything away from any of the local banks, but usually it's something where it's a little bit more to underwrite from a bank perspective. So the city, our department goes in and tries to help out in providing a low interest loan to get some of these businesses going. So
I
that's one of the things we do.
and I
And
think
so
I'm sorry, man.
go ahead, Patrick.
No, please.
I was just going to say that was through our marketable properties program that we started.
Mhm.
One of the things we're like, all right, how can we spur development and growth in downtown and throughout the city? Because there's just some buildings that have sat vacant for so long and they're just really hard to develop. You can't make the numbers match. So we're trying to, how can we help fill that gap? And we started the marketable properties program, which we funded by auctioning or selling off certain city properties that had just long been vacant. And we raised over $2 million, and we were able to give out, kind of micro loans to different developers and businesses in the area. And also a few other like grants and stuff to businesses to kind of get them going. The TPAC received a grant to help them kind of open up too. So we've helped a number of different businesses in the area. Jay?
Yeah, I don't want to get into too many of them, but the mayor is totally right. Without the MPP program, we wouldn't be able to help a lot of these businesses out. Anyone who's enjoyed the new look of the Flatiron Building in downtown, that was grant and also funding from our office. A lot of the downtown businesses like Talisa's, Colonial Donuts, these are all businesses that came to us, needing a little assistance. So, this program has been a big windfall for us.
And then one other thing, Chris, I don't know if you're going to get into this, but since we're talking about how we're trying to help people kind of avoid costs, save a little bit of money here and there, we also started free waste disposal days in the city of Taunton. And I mean, on its face, it kind of sounds like, ew, what's that? But they have been extremely popular. And so at our convenience center, which is on East Britannia Street, we have free days where you can bring household trash, bulk items like chairs or, coffee tables or whatever it is, not over 75 pounds. What else? I actually have tires, yard waste, metal items, recycling, and paper shredding. And so we're going to have 7 different events this year. And our first one is actually this Saturday. So you can just load up your car or your truck with anything you want. Rugs, like things you don't know how to get rid of. Like, what do you do with a rug you don't want anymore? Or pillows from your couch or whatever it is. And so you put them in your car. Our people are great. We work with Republic and Wind Waste to do this, and they'll take everything right out of your truck or your car for you. You don't even have to get out. It's a wonderful service, and people are just really thrilled about not having to, go to the dump or pay to get it taken away or whatever it is.
Well, I'll have to crash that Taunton party as a Berkeley resident.
It's in spring cleaning on Saturday, and yeah.
Thank you for that update. One more last topic that was submitted is what's happening at the former Galleria Mall property.
Oh, okay, I'll let Jay take that one, but good stuff happening over there.
Yeah, so it's funny. I just posted a video. So if you guys are connected to me on LinkedIn, we have an intern that just did a 46-second video of the building that was constructed. So the first building has been completed, 250,000 square feet. We've had a number of businesses look at it, including a water distributor. There are currently no tenants, but we think that'll be changing in the months ahead. Once that building is half full, they will build at the actual mall spot a 450,000 square foot warehouse. We're hoping for some life sciences manufacturing businesses, not just distribution. We want to have, some good job creation there. So they just met with the mayor last week to kind of talk a little bit about the site. They've done, beautiful things with the site there. We just need the businesses to cometh. So that's part of it now, as we've been trying to attract businesses to that spot. But we definitely, probably the next time we do this, we'll have some updates. But there's definitely a lot of businesses kicking the tires. We had one from Dallas a couple of weeks ago. So we're excited, especially with everything that's going on in that area and the interchange, that'll be a site that people will, we even reached out to the craft group. We're like, hey, this could be a soccer stadium too, shoot for the stars kind of thing. But we're definitely thinking that this property will be valuable in the years to come.
Thank you for that. That is all of the, kind of topics that folks had expressed an interest in advance, but now it's open for any kind of comments or follow-up questions on anything we talked about or anything that we didn't. Open it up to the group.
Well, we certainly covered a lot. Thank you.
I know Kim is on from Old Colony. We didn't talk about the first Habitat House. So that's something, 5 Chester Court, right next to Reed and Barton. Taunton is celebrating their first Habitat for Humanity house that I think is like probably 95% complete. I know the family was awarded. You probably saw the family, the single mother with an 18-year-old and a 5-year-old. That was definitely a wonderful story of an impact on a family. So that's something that's happened over the last year.
Yeah. Kim, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, we're very excited about it. Thank you so much, Mayor. I appreciate working with you and your team and having our family moving in probably the end of May, early June. We try to have the families get in before they, can plan for school. So Ava is in kindergarten and she'll be going to Mulcahy, I believe. And yeah, very excited and appreciate it. Family's amazing. If you haven't seen it, you can watch the video on our Facebook. It's very heartwarming.
So
So
that was
thank you
one of the
again.
properties that we cataloged as a blighted property, and Kim, came to us and said, we're looking to build in Taunton. So we searched for a home or a property for them, and they were able to get it through, an RFP process for $1. And so the city helped take the house down, and Kim has worked amazingly hard with her whole team to get all the funding needed, because there's, a lot of funding, a lot of volunteer you need, and so many people in the city of Taunton, and I know out of the city of Taunton as well, have stepped up. Different, contractors, organizations. Bristol County Savings Bank, I believe, donated $50,000. So it's been this like incredible team effort among so many people. And, in addition to giving them the property, the city was also able to grant, I think, $57,000 to help with the expenses for that house. So it's something that it's our first one here in Taunton, and we're just so thrilled to be a part of it. This is a wonderful, wonderful family that is so grateful and so deserving. And we're looking forward to doing our next one with Kim. I know she's got a few more on her list before she gets back to Taunton, but we're certainly open to doing that again.
Yeah, and I'm very excited too, Mayor, because we have Julie. Hi, Julie. Nice to see you from Warren Hospital, and Sue at Seed and Bluestone Bank and Bristol County. Everyone's been so supportive, and we appreciate it. Very much a community effort.
Thanks, Tim. We're wrapping up. If anyone else has anything.
I just want to let everyone know, you may have heard that we are going to be welcoming home a POW from the Korean War, U.S. Army PFC Joseph Travers. And that is going to be this Wednesday, March 26th. So the community is invited to line the streets at 5 o'clock, beginning at the intersection of Bay Street and Broadway, down Broadway onto Washington Street. PFC Travers will be going to O'Keefe Wade Funeral Home, and we just want to make sure that he gets a hero's welcome as he comes back home to finally be at his resting place. And so everyone is invited to please join us to welcome him back and honor him.
Thank you for that. We will be putting information out about that to our membership as well, and we definitely will have some folks from the chamber there.
Oh, and I see my good friend George Mendos here. I want to wish everyone happy Greek Independence Day.
Thank you for that. Congratulations, George. Few programming notes from the chamber, just that this Thursday morning, please join us if you can at 9 o'clock at Open Doors Yoga, which is right on Main Street, for our coffee and conversation. And then on April 9th, we are doing a legislative breakfast. First one in person since I've been here at Segregated Country Club. We have some new state representatives, and of course, our new state senator, Kelly Dooner, will be there. So please come out. It'll be an opportunity for you to meet them and to learn about what's going on the Hill. So that is all of the updates that I have. Thank you again, Mayor. Thank you, Jay and Patrick, for this amazing call and all of the important information and all the great things going on in the city. We're so proud to be a part of it. And thank you all for joining us.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Have a great day, everyone. We appreciate you all.
Thanks, Shaunna.
You're welcome, George.